Hello, how are you? I'm a little tired. Sit down, please. I'd like to speak English today too, to improve my speaking skill. Let's get it started. Today, it is on December 22nd, 2023. It's on Friday and sunny outside. How are you spending Friday? Do you have a work or school today? Or have you got a day off today? Are you excited for the weekend and the year end? Do you have a plan for today or tomorrow or day after tomorrow? I used to feel happiest on Friday's night. I would often feel the happiest on Friday's night because my day off my day offs were on Saturdays and Sundays in the past. I used to feel the happiest on Friday's night and feel the saddest on Sunday's night. I remember feeling the happiest on Friday's night and the saddest on Sunday's night. I remember feeling the happiest on Friday's night and feeling the saddest on Sunday's night. I remember feeling the happiest on Friday's night. I remember locking the door. I remember owing him 500 yen. Remember that you owed me 500 yen. Remember to ring up the client after lunch. Remember to call the client up after lunch. Remember to ring up the client 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 after lunch. Remember to take the medicine after a meal with water. Remember to take the medicine after eating the meal with water. Remember to take the vitamin pills after eating meals with water. I took a memo of what I should do on the electrical schedule on my phone so that I won't forget to do. In order that I won't forget to. I took a memo of what I should do on the day on my electrical schedule on my phone so that I won't forget to. In order that I won't forget to. I took a memo what I should do on the paper for fear I should forget to. In case I should forget to. Lest I should forget to. The guy forgot hitting the person while he was drunk. The person forgotten what he had done to the man sitting next to him. The person has forgotten hitting the person sitting next to him when he was drunk. The person has forgotten hitting the person sitting next to him while he was drunk. The person has forgotten hitting the person. The person has forgotten hitting the person sitting next to him. The person forgot hitting the person sitting next to me. He was drunk. The person has forgotten hitting the person next to him while he was drunk. Don't forget to lock the door when you leave the office at last. Don't forget to turn off all of the switches when you leave the office last. Don't forget to close the doors. Don't forget to turn off all of the switches before you leave the office last. Don't forget to turn it in before the deadline. Don't forget to turn your report in to the professor by the deadline. Don't forget to turn in your thesis to the professor by the deadline. Don't forget to hand in your report to the professor by the deadline. Don't forget to hand in the thesis to your professor by the deadline. Don't forget to hand in the thesis to the professor by the deadline. Don't forget to turn in the thesis to the professor by the deadline. Don't forget to submit the application form to the organization by the deadline. Unfortunately, I forgot to submit my application forms to the organization by the deadline. Unfortunately, I forgot to send my application forms to the organization by the deadline. Some people forget doing something in the past. Some people forget doing something in the past. And sometimes I forget taking a medicine after taking it. On occasion, I forget taking a medicine. just after taking it. Occasionally, I forget taking a medicine just after taking it. Do you have the same experience? I sometimes forget taking a medicine sooner, just after taking it. I sometimes forget taking a medicine soon after taking it. I wonder if I have really took that. I make it a rule to take a memo of what I should do and buy in advance on my electrical schedule on my phone, so that I won't forget to. In order that I won't forget to. My friend forgot borrowing 10,000 yen from me. My friend forgot borrowing 10,000 yen from me. My friend forgot owing me 10,000 yen. My friend forgot owing me 10,000 yen. My friend forgot owing me 10,000 yen. I occasionally forget taking a medicine soon after taking it. From time to time, I forget taking a medicine after taking it. I forgot participating in the event 10 years ago. I forgot charging my iPad. I sometimes forget to charge my iPad before leaving my house. We sometimes forget to turn off the lights, air conditioner, and other appliances. Accidentally, I forgot leaving the door open. I forgot buying the spare components just in case. I forgot buying another case. I forgot buying another SD card just in case for backing up some data. I forgot buying another SD card. I forgot buying another SD card for backing up my data. I forgot buying extra SD cards. I forgot buying another SD card for the backup of some of the data. I forgot buying another SD card for the backup on my some of the data. We regret to inform you that the flight has been delayed. The organization of the sports meeting regretted to inform us that it would be postponed until the next week. The principal of the school regretted to inform us that the sports meeting would be postponed till the next week. The principal of the school regretted to announce that the sports meeting would be put off till the next week. I regretted to sell my belongings to make ends meet. I regretted to leave the country without sightseeing for a reason. I regretted to leave the country without sightseeing for a reason. I regretted to leave the country without sightseeing at all for a reason. I regretted to leave the country without sightseeing for a reason. I regretted to throw away the fancy fruit because I didn't notice the use-by date. I regretted to throw away the fancy food which had been stored in my refrigerator for a long time. I regretted to throw away the fancy fruit which had been stored in the refrigerator for a long time because I didn't notice it. I regretted to throw away the expensive fruit which had been stored in my refrigerator till then. I regretted to throw away the fancy expensive fruit which had been stored in the refrigerator because I hadn't known it was in the fridge till then. I regretted to let go of the fancy expensive fruit which had been housed in the refrigerator for a long time. The airline regretted to inform us that the flight was delayed. The airline regretted to inform us that the flight was delayed. The airline regretted to inform us that the flight would be postponed. The airline regretted to inform us that the flight was called off, cancelled. I regret having spent my precious time doing nothing when I was in the summer vacation, during summer vacation. I regret having spent my time doing nothing during summer vacation. I regret spending my time doing nothing during summer vacation. I regret spending my time doing nothing during summer vacation. I regret spending my time doing nothing during summer vacation. I regret not having challenged more things when I was in my teens. I regret not having challenged. I regret not challenging more things when I was in my teens. I regret not studying hard when I was teens. I regret not having studied hard when I was teens. I regret not having studied harder when I was teens. I regret to decline the offer. I regret to decline the offer for a reason. I regret to decline the offer. 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 I regret to work overtime today. I regret to work on New Year's Eve. I regret to throw away the expensive fruit which had been stored in the refrigerator because I didn't notice it. Hmm. I regret to throw away the fancy, expensive fruit which had been stored in the refrigerator for a long time because I didn't notice it. It was stored in the edge of the refrigerator. Hmm. I regretted to throw away many clothes which hadn't used for a long time. Some of them were new. Hmm. I regretted to eat what I didn't like, what I don't like, because the menu I wanted to eat was sold out. I regretted to order what I didn't like to eat, because the menu I wanted to eat was sold out. I regretted to eat what I didn't wanna eat, because the menu I wanted to eat was sold out. I regretted to stay in a capsule hotel located in the station because I missed the last one. I regretted to stay in a capsule hotel attached to the station because I missed the last one. I regretted to stay in a hotel located near the station because I missed the last one. I regretted to stay in a capsule hotel located near the station because I missed the last one. I regretted to stay in the hotel located in around the station because I missed the last one. I sometimes regretted to drink much alcohol, ending up vomiting, throwing up. I sometimes regretted to drink much alcohol, winding up vomiting, throwing up. I occasionally regretted to drink much alcohol, enough to vomit, throw up. I occasionally regretted to drink alcohol too much. I occasionally regretted to drink much alcohol. I sometimes regretted to drink alcoholic beverages too much. You will regret to have drunk much alcohol later. I sometimes regretted to drink much alcohol. I regretted to drink much alcohol in the past. I regretted to have drunk much alcohol. I occasionally regretted to drink much alcohol at that time. I regretted to have drunk much alcohol at that time. I regretted to choose the one I didn't want to eat because the one I wanted to eat was sold out. I regretted to choose one from the four choices. Any of them was appealing to me. I regretted to choose one from among the four choices. Any of them was my interest, taste. We regretted to miss the last train. We regretted to miss the last train. We regretted to miss the opportunity to meet the celebrity on the street. I regretted to have missed the opportunity to see the Prime Minister on the road. Many fans regretted to miss the opportunity to see the idol coming out of the exit door. I regretted to eat the menu I didn't want to eat. I regretted to choose the menu I didn't want to eat because the one I wanted to eat was sold out. I regretted to stay in the hotel, which I didn't expect because all of the hotel or other accommodations were sold out on the day. I regretted to leave the country without having the sightseeing for a reason. I regretted to leave the country without sightseeing at all. I regretted to leave the country without sightseeing at all. I regretted to leave the country without sightseeing at all. I regretted to sell some of my belongings in order to make ends meet. I regretted to sell my belongings so as to make ends meet. I regretted to sell some of my belongings in order to make ends meet. I regretted to leave the country without sightseeing at all for a reason. Hmm. I regretted to leave the country without sightseeing at all for a reason. I regretted to leave the country without sightseeing at all for a reason. I regretted to leave the country without sightseeing at all. I regret to choose the choice. I regret to be transferred to the branch office. I regret to be transferred to the local city. I regret to be transferred to the branch office. I regret to be transferred to the local place. The airline regret to inform us that the flight has been called off. The principal of the elementary school regretted to inform us that it would be postponed until next week, the following week. The principal of the school regretted to announce us that the sports meeting would be called off altogether. The government regretted to postpone the state of the emergency to make sure. The store regretted to end the business. The company regretted to stop the production. The company regretted to stop the business. The company regretted to stop the production because it was not selling well. The company regretted to stop the production of the product because it was not selling well. The company regretted to cut off the department. The company regretted to finish the production of the product. The company regretted to end the sale of the product. The company regretted to end the sales of the product because they were not selling well. The company regretted to end the sales of the product. The company regretted to stop the sales of the product. The company regretted to stop the sales of the product. The company regretted to sell some of its businesses to the parent company. The company regretted to cut off many employees in order to survive. The company regretted to lay off many employees so as to survive. The company regretted to fire many employees in an attempt to shrink. The company regretted to lay off many employees as restructuring. I regretted to eat what I didn't expect because the menu I wanted to eat was not available. I regretted to stay in a fancy hotel because no reasonable hotels were available nearby. I regretted to park my car in the expensive parking lot because no reasonable ones were available. I regretted to park my car in such an expensive parking lot. I didn't realize how expensive it was when I paid the price. I regretted to park my car in such an expensive parking lot. I hadn't noticed it until I paid the cost. I regretted to park my car in such an expensive parking lot. I hadn't noticed it until I paid the cost. I regretted to park my car in such an expensive parking lot. I hadn't noticed it until I paid the cost. I regret having spent my time doing nothing during the summer vacation. I regret not having studied much. I regret not having studied much. I regret not having studied much. I regret not having studied much when I was teens. I regret not having studied much when I was teens. I regret having said such a thing to him. I regret wasting my precious time doing nothing. I regret spending my precious time doing nothing during the summer vacation. I regret not challenging in my teens. Everybody will regret doing something. I regret saying such a thing to him. I regret having said such a thing to him. I regret not having studied. I regret not having studied. I regret not having studied much. Remember to ring up the client after lunch. Remember to ring up the client after lunch. Remember to take the vitamin pills after lunch. Remember to take the medicine after eating lunch. Remember to take the medicine after eating lunch. Remember to take the medicine after eating lunch. Remember to scan your card at the machine to get the points before you enter the country. Remember to scan your card at the machine in order to get the points, mileage points before enter the country. Remember to take the medicine after eating lunch. Remember to scan your card, a point card, at the machine so as to get the mileage point before entering the country. I remember playing on the grounds with my friends. I remember playing on the grounds with my friends. I remember playing in the playground with my friends. I remember playing with my friends with hide and seek. I need to improve my 4 parts of language skills. 4 parts of language skill: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. We need to improve 4 parts of the language: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Taking the balance of it is very important, but I am sure our education is biased towards maybe only mostly to reading part. That's why it is not good. We need to improve 4 parts of the language skill partially, fairly, evenly. We need to improve 4 parts of the language skill partially, evenly, fairly, above board. My computer needs fixing. 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 My bicycle needs fixing. Do you think the Constitution needs amending? Do you think the law needs amending? Do you think many laws about education need amending? Do you suppose many laws regarding the education need amending. Do you think many laws regarding education need reforming? Do you think the law needs reforming? Do you think the laws need fixing, amending, reforming? Do you think many laws, policies, or other rules with respect to education need amendment, need amending? Do you think many laws regarding the education need amending? Do you suppose many laws regarding the education need amending? If you want to succeed in the business, devote much of your time to that. If you want to achieve the big breakthrough, devote much of your time to that. My bicycle wants fixing. 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 My computer needs fixing. My computer wants 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 fixing. Do you think many laws regarding the education want fixing, want amendment, want amending, want reforming? Do you suppose many laws with regard to English education want amending, want amending? Hmm. I regretted to leave the country for a reason. The company regretted to finish the assembly of the product for a reason. The company regretted to end the sales of the product because it was not selling well. Do you suppose many laws, policies, rules regarding the education wants fixing, wants amending? Do you think many laws regarding education wants amending? Wants amending? Do you think the current constitution wants reforming? Do you think current constitution wants reforming, amending, fixing? My computer wants fixing. 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 My dog still wants educating. Do you think teenagers want educating? Do you think people or all people want educating at school as in a compulsory education system? Do you think all of the teenagers want educating in the compulsory educational system? Do you suppose all of the teenagers want educating in the compulsory education system, mandatory education system? Do you suppose all of the teenagers want educating in the compulsory education system? Do you think all of the teenagers want educating in the compulsory education system? All of the employees want educating. All of the new employees want educating for the first half year in the training center. All freshmen want training in the training center for the first half a year. All freshmen at the company want training for the first half a year in the training center. All freshmen at the company want training in the training center for the first year before being independent. All new employees in the company want training for the first half a year in the training center before being independent. The cuisine heating well. The cuisine wants heating well. The meat won't heating well. The meat won't heating well. The meat won't heating well. My bicycle needs fixing. The filter of the air conditioner wants replacing. The filter of the air conditioner wants replacing. The filters attached to the air conditioner want replacing. The filters in the air conditioner want replacing, exchanging, changing with a new one. The filters in the air conditioner want replacing with new ones. The batteries in the appliance want replacing with new ones. The filters in the air conditioner want replacing with new ones. The filters in the filter in the air conditioner want replacing. The filters in the air conditioner want replacing. The filters in the air conditioner want replacing. We managed to arrive at the destination in time. I managed to pass the examination on the 8th trial. I managed to pass the national examination after the 8th trials. I managed to pass the national examination after the 8th trial. The teacher managed to persuade the little girl to stop crying. The police officers managed to persuade the criminal to stop taking the person as hostage. It was sensible of you to decide not to be involved in him. It was advisable of you to decide not to be involved in him. It was advisable of you to ignore the scamming messages. It was advisable of you to disregard scamming messages. It was advisable of you to turn a blind eye to scamming messages. It was advisable of you to buy a spare case just in case, and now you need it now. Perfect. It is advisable of you to buy much things at once to reduce the number of shoppings. It is advisable of you to buy a weak amount of food and drinks at once. I intended to enter the country. I intended to go to the country before the pandemic. I intended going to the country before the pandemic. I intended to go to the country. I intended going to the country. I intended to have a vacation in Okinawa. I intended having a vacation in Okinawa. Hmm. Hmm. I intended to post the letter on my way home, but I couldn't because I was forced to work overtime. I intended posting the letter at the post office on my way home, but I couldn't because I was compelled to work overtime. I was forced to work overtime. I was obliged to work overtime. I was obliged to work overtime. I was compelled to work overtime. I was compelled to work overtime. I was forced to work overtime. I was forced to work overtime. I am intending to spend my New Year's Eve as usual. I am intending to spend my New Year's Day, New Year holidays as usual. In order to stay calm, in order to remain calm. Hmm. I intended to stay overnight at the hotel attached to the airport because my flight on the next day is super early, like 7 o'clock a.m. I intend to stay at the hotel overnight um, attached to the airport. The flight on the next day is super early. I intend staying in a hotel attached to the airport because uh, for since for the flight on the next day is too early, enough to be impossible to arrive from my house. So I am intending to stay in a hotel. I am intending to stay in the hotel. I am intending staying in the hotel. I intend staying in the hotel. I am intending to save the salary straight to my bank account. I intend saving my money. I intend saving my money. I intend to invest a quarter of my salary in the stock as soon as I get the salary. As soon as I get the salary, I intend investing a quarter amount of the salary in the stock I have been chasing. The instant I get salary, I am intending to invest a quarter of the amount in the stock I have been pursuing. As soon as I get the salary, I intend investing the quarter of the amount in the stock I have been chasing. I intend investing a quarter of my salary in the stock I have been tracing. I intend investing a quarter of my salary in the stock I have been tracking. You need not go there. You don't need to go there. Need I go there? Need I go there? Do I need to go there? You need not behave as everyone else does. You don't need to behave as everyone else does. Need I do as everyone else does? Need I do as everyone else does? Everyone else does. Need I do as everyone else does? Do I need to behave as everyone else does? Need I to behave as everyone else does? Everyone else does. Everyone else does. You need not criticize yourself. You need not blame yourself. You need not blame yourself. You need not to be blamed for yourself. You need not blame yourself. You don't need to blame yourself. Need I leave now if I arrive at the destination in time? Do I need to leave now if I arrive at the destination in time? Some people need not much money to be happy. Some people don't need to have much money to be happy. Some people need not much money to be happy. Some people don't need to have much money to be happy. Need we have a lot of money to be happy? Do we need to have much money to be happy? Need we behave as everyone else does? Do we need to behave as everyone else does? Everyone else does? We need not behave as everyone else does. We don't need to behave as everyone else does. Do we need to behave as everyone else does? Need we behave as everyone else does? Need I study every day? How long need I study every day to enter the university, to pass the examination? How long do I need to study in order to pass the examination? How long need I study in order to pass the examination? How long need I study in order to pass the examination? How long do I need to study so as to pass the examination? You did not eat everything served in the menu. Eating a lot will affect the performance of the rest of the day after eating lunch. You don't need to eat everything served in the menu if you cannot. Eating a lot of lunch will affect the performance of the rest of the day. The performance of the rest of the day. It will affect the performance of the rest of the day. Eating a lot will affect the performance of the rest of the day. You need not eat everything served in the menu. Eating a lot of lunch will affect the performance of the rest of the day. You don't need to eat everything on the menu served. Eating everything is important though, but if you cannot, maybe you need not eat everything if you cannot. Because eating beyond your limitation will affect badly to your body. Eating the menu, everything is a kind of important maybe to show respect to the cooker. But if you cannot eat everything, you don't need to finish everything, in my opinion, because eating food beyond your limitation will have a bad effect on our body. Eating a lot of food beyond our limitation will exert bad influence on our body. It will have a bad effect on us. It will have an effect on us badly. It will have a bad effect on us. It will have a bad effect on us. It will exert a bad influence on us. There is no point in convincing me to stop pursuing my career. It is no use persuading me to stop pursuing my career. It is no good convincing me to stop pursuing my career. There is no point in convincing me to stop pursuing my career. Have you ever booked a flight through travel agent? Have you ever booked your accommodations or flights at the real store, real travel agent? Have you booked your flight through a physical store? Physical store of travel agent. Have you booked a flight through a physical store of travel agent? Travel agent. Travel agent. Have you booked a flight through a travel agent? Have you booked a flight through travel agent? I mean physical store. Have you booked your travel? Have you arranged your travels through a physical store? I mean travel agent on the spot, offline. Have you ever arranged your travel through a physical store? Travel agent. Have you booked your flights, accommodations, and other things through a physical store? Physical store. What are you going to do on New Year's holiday? What are you going to do on your New Year break? New Year's break. New Year's break. What are you intending to do on your New Year's break? What are you intending to do on your New Year's break? New Year's break. New Year's break. Have you booked a flight through a physical store of a travel agent? Have you booked your flight or accommodations through a physical store of a travel agent? Have you booked a flight or accommodation through a physical store of travel agent? Have you booked your flights and accommodations through a travel agent? Have you arranged your travels? Have you arranged your travels through at a physical store? Have you arranged your travels at a physical store? Do you mind me having a day off tomorrow? I'm certain that hardly anybody will approve of me embarking on the crazy business. I'm sure that hardly anybody in this department will approve of me having a day off tomorrow. Hardly any diet members approved of the cabinet approved of the bill passed into law. Hardly any diet members approved of the bill being passed. Hardly any diet members approved of the bill being passed. Hardly any diet members approved of the bill being passed. Do you approve of the government postponing extending the state of the emergency? Do you approve of the government extending the state of emergency for another week? Do you approve of the government extending state of emergency for another week? Do you approve of the government extending the state of emergency for another week? Do you approve of the government increasing the consumption tax by 1%? Do you approve of the government boosting the consumption tax again? Do you approve of the government increasing the consumption tax again? Do you approve of the government increasing the consumption tax again? Again. If only the candidate behaved well, I would have approved of his policy. If only the candidate was not involved in the corruption, I would have approved of his policy. If only the candidate did not engaged in the criminal activity, I would have approved him becoming the politician. If only the candidate did not engage in the criminal activity, I would have approved of him becoming a city councillor. I'm almost sure that hardly anybody in my department will not approve of me having a day off tomorrow on such short notice. I'm certain that hardly any co-workers in my department will not approve of me having a day off tomorrow on such short notice. Many citizens cannot approve of the government increasing the tax. I cannot approve of the company giving us no compensation. I cannot approve of the company giving us no compensation for what they did. My music teacher recommended that I should practice the phrase with very slow tempo first. My music teacher recommended practicing the parts with very slow pace, very slow speed at first. My music teacher recommended practicing the part with very slow tempo. My music teacher advised me to practice the parts with very slow tempo. My music teacher recommended me to practice the part with very slow tempo at first. The music teacher recommended that we should practice the parts with very slow tempo at first. The experts recommend deleting all of the data by formatting before disposing of it. The experts recommended removing the hard disk or SSD before disposing of the computer. The experts recommend removing the hard disk or deleting the data protected with the specialized software before disposing of the PC. The experts recommend deleting all of the data included in the hard disk with the specialized software perfectly, or removing the hard disk from the PC at all before disposing of it. The specialist regarding the computers and other electrical devices recommended the customers to delete all of the data included in the hard disk with the specialized software, or removing it from the PC altogether before disposing of the PC to prevent the private information from spreading. To keep the private information from spreading, to stop the private information from spreading. My doctor recommended having a regular moderate exercise. The music teacher recommended having practice for at least 4 hours on a daily basis. The doctor recommended having a walk as a regular exercise. The doctor recommended me to have a moderate daily exercise. The doctor recommended me to have a moderate regular exercise every day. The doctor recommended limiting the hours of my training. The doctor recommended having a break regularly by setting the timer. My doctor recommended having a regular break during the training. My doctor recommended me to be hydrated during the sports. My doctor recommended me to be hydrated during the sports. My doctor recommended drinking enough water and other drinks during the sports. My doctor recommended drinking enough water during the sports, especially under the hot sunlight. My doctor recommended that I should drink enough water during the training under the sunlight. My doctor recommended that I should take enough water during the hard training under the direct sunlight. My doctor recommended drinking enough water during the hard training under direct sunlight. My doctor recommended me to drink enough water. My doctor recommended me to drink enough water during the hard training under the direct sunlight. My doctor recommended me to drink enough water. My doctor recommended me to drink enough water. My doctor recommended that I should drink enough water. My doctor recommended drinking enough water during the hard training under the direct sunlight. My doctor recommended avoiding eating junk food. My doctor recommended staying at home for a time being until my disease was eradicated. My doctor recommended me to stay at home as possible as I could until I got recovered from the disease. My doctor recommended me to stay at home until my disease was cured. My doctor recommended me staying at home for another week. Quit worrying about the future. Quit imagining you making a mistake. Quit imagining you making mistakes in the public. Stop imagining you making a mistake at the performance. Instead, imagine you performing well in the public with a lot of applause, standing ovation, and so on. Quit worrying about the future. Quit imagining you making a mistake. Quit imagining you make a mistake. Quit imagining you making mistakes. Quit imagining you make a mistake. Quit imagining you making mistakes. Quit imagining you making mistakes. I intended to post the letter on my way home, but I couldn't because I was forced to work overtime beyond 7 o'clock p.m. I intended to post the letter on my way home, but I couldn't because I was forced to work overtime until 8 o'clock p.m. I intended posting the letter on my way home yesterday, but I couldn't, as I was compelled to work overtime until 8 o'clock p.m. I intended posting the postcard on my way home yesterday, but I couldn't. I intended posting the letter. 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 Post. I deleted soon after I posted the picture because it was embarrassing. I deleted some pictures. I posted a few minutes ago because they were very embarrassing. I intended posting the letter at the post office. I intended to post the letter on my way home. I intended to post the letter at the post office today. I intended posting the letter. I intended posting the letter I intended posting the letter. I intended posting the letter. I intended posting the letter. I intend to post the letter today. I am intending to post the letter. 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 I intend to post the letter. I intend posting 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 the letter. I am intending to post the letter. I intend to post the letter. I intend to post the letter. I intend posting the letter. I intend posting the letter. I intend to post the letter. I intend to post the letter. I intend posting the letter. I intend posting the letter. I intend posting the letter. I intend to post the letter. I intend to post the letter. Are you satisfied with what you have now? Are you satisfied with the environment you are working in? Life is by no means fair. I think so. Life is by no means fair. Some people might be being in favor in some situation. Life is by no means fair. Owning a car is by no means cheap. 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 Owning a car is far from cheap. Owning a car is by no means cheap. Owning a car is by no means cheap. Owning a car is far from cheap. I can by no means run 20 kilometers. Some people can by no means study for all day long. Some people can by no means study all day long. Don't expect reward for what you have did for somebody. Do not expect reward for what you have did. Don't expect reward in return for what served. Don't expect any reward in return for what you served. Don't expect reward in return for what you served. Don't expect reward in return for what you have did, what you have served. Don't expect reward for what you have served. Don't expect any reward in return for what you have served. Don't expect any reward in return for what you have served. When it comes to lunchtime, some students used to be greedy on trying to get as much amount of food as possible in the limited amount. Hmm. When it comes to lunchtime, some students used to be greedy and trying to eat as much food as possible. In terms of lunchtime, some students used to be very greedy, trying to eat as much food as possible. Well, when I eat at all-you-can-eat restaurant, I tend to be greedy, trying to eat as much food as possible to get money for value. To get the value for money. To get the value for money. When I eat at all-you-can-eat restaurant, I am apt to be greedy, trying to eat as much food as possible to get the value for money. To get the value for money. To get the to get or go beyond the value for money. To get or go beyond the value for money. Whenever I eat all-you-can-eat restaurant, I tend to be very greedy, trying to eat as much food as possible in order to get the value for money or go beyond the value for money. Don't forget that you owe me $300 altogether. Altogether. Don't forget that you owe me 5,000 yen. Don't forget that you owe me $200,000. I owe my success to my parents and other supporters. I owe my success to my parents and other supporters in many perspectives. I owe my success to everybody supporting me in many perspectives, aspects. I owe my success to supporters from many aspects, including the economics, including the economy. Mm. Mm. Her shopping amounted to 1 million yen altogether. Altogether. Her shopping amounted to 1 million yen altogether, which surprised us. Which took us by surprise. Which took us by surprise. Her shopping at the boutique shop amounted to 1 million yen, which took us by surprise. The shopping spent by her amounted to 500,000 yen in total, altogether. Don't forget that you owe me 1 million yen. Don't forget you owe me 1 million yen. The company owed the bank about 500,000 yen. The company owed the bank about 1 billion yen. The company owes the bank about 100 million yen. The company owes the bank about 100 million yen. The company owes the bank about 100 million yen. The company owes the bank about 100 million yen. The company owes the bank about 100 million yen, according to the information on the Wikipedia. The company owes the mega bank about 100 million yen. Don't forget you owe me 5,000 yen. Don't forget you owe me 5,000 yen. Don't forget you owe me 5,000 yen. Don't forget that 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 you owe me 5,000 yen. The company owes the bank 5,000 ballots. The company owes the mega bank about 100 million yen. The company owes the bank about 100 million yen. The company owes the bank about 100,000 yen. The company owes the bank about 100 million yen. The company owes the company about 50 million yen. The company owes the bank about 50 million yen. The company owes the bank about 50 million yen. The company owes the bank about 50 million yen. The company owes the bank about 50 million yen. The company owes the bank about 50 million yen. Don't forget that you owe me 5,000 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 yen. I owe my success to my parents and other supporters. Everybody in the company owes the remarkable growth of the company to the researcher who invented the semiconductor a few years ago. Everybody working in the company owes the success and the remarkable growth of the company to the researcher who invented the awesome device. All employees working in the company owe the success and the remarkable growth of the company to the researcher who invented the blockbuster. Don't forget that you pay me back by Friday. Don't forget that you pay me back as soon as you get the salary. I will not give, and then I will not give even, and then I will not get even, and then I will not get even. All together. 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 Don't forget that you owe me 10,000 yen altogether. Don't forget that you owe me 20,000 yen altogether. Don't forget that you owe me 30,000 yen altogether. I'm still hard up. I am still hard up. I am still hard up. Please release me from the situation I am hard up. Please set me free from the situation where I am hard up by making me earn a lot of money from YouTube videos. Thank you. Please release me from the situation where I am hard up. 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 Please help me. I am hard up. 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 Please help me. I am hard up. 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 Please help me. I am hard up. I am hard up. I am hard up. Please help me. I am hard up. Please help me. I am hard up. I am hard up. I am poor. I am hard up. I am poor. I am hard up. I am poor. My friend was late for the destination again. I don't feel like going to the party. There you go again. I'm sleepy. There you go again. I lost patience. There you go again. I'm not motivated. There you go again. I feel sleepy. There you go again. I came down with the cold. There you go again. I've come down with the cold. There you go again. 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 I'm sleepy. There you go again. I lost at the gamble. There you go again. I lost much money at the gambling. There you go again. 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 As soon as I realized the sound of the shopping, I lost my words. When I looked at the receipt and realized the sum, I lost my words. When I checked the receipt of my shopping, I was surprised at the sum. The cook was astonished at his incredible considerable appetite. The cook was astonished at the diner's considerable appetite. Considerable, remarkable, considerable. I often confuse the word considerable with considerate, although both of them have different meanings. Considerable sum. I'd like to get considerable sum of salary. If only I could get considerable amount of salary. Considerable sum of salary. I wish I could get considerable sum of money, salary. If only I could earn considerable sum of money. If only I could earn considerable sum of money with YouTube videos. I hope so. From bottom of my heart. If only I could earn considerable sum of my considerable amount of money. Considerable. An unidentified flying object. Unidentified flying object. Have you seen an unidentified flying object? Have you seen an unidentified flying object? An unidentified flying object. Have you seen an identified object? Have you seen an unidentified flying 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 object? Unidentified flying object. Flying objects. Unidentified flying objects. The rescuers ordered us to cling to the rope in order to rescue us. The rescuers ordered us to cling to the rope firmly, solidly, securely. The instructor advised us to cling to the security bar firmly, correctly, solidly. I saw some chimpanzees clinging to the rope and enjoying swinging. I saw some chimpanzees swinging on the bars set up on the roof. I saw some chimpanzees clinging to the bar set up on the roof. I saw some chimpanzees clinging to the branches and enjoying swinging. The result of the recession, one of the reasons of the economy shrinking is maybe due to clinging to the past masterpieces for a long time and never challenging at all. One of the reasons of the shrinking economy maybe stems from clinging to the past glories for a long time, not challenging, not inventing new things, not innovating maybe. And one of the reasons why the economy has been shrinking, it maybe stems from derives from having clinged to the past glories for a long time. Cling to the rope, cling to the rope, cling to the security bar, cling to the security bar, cling to the security bar, hold on to the security bar, hold on to the security bar, cling 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 to the security bar, hold on to the security bar, hold on to the security bar, hold on to the security bar. The father was obliged to leave the family behind for a temporary because he was transferred to the local area. The father was forced to be transferred to the local branch office for temporarily, leaving behind his family. The parent of the baby was punished for leaving the baby behind in the car while playing pachinko. The person was found guilty. The person was found guilty. The person was ruled out guilty. The person was found guilty. The person was found guilty. The person was found out guilty. The person was found guilty. The person was found innocent. Don't leave me behind. I don't care about being I don't care about being left behind because I'm used to it. I don't mind being left behind. I don't care about being left behind. I don't care about being left behind. I don't care about being left behind. Being left behind. I don't care about being left behind. Being left behind because I'm used to it. I don't care about being left behind because I'm used to it. I've got used to it. The country is lagging behind. The country is lagging behind, falling behind. The runner used to be falling behind other runners, but at the last minute he came in the second, which surprised the audiences at all. The runner used to be lagging behind the other runners, but at the last minute he came in second. Don't leave me behind. Don't leave babies behind. Don't leave babies behind in your car. Don't leave a baby behind in the car. Other members went to the trip, leaving me behind. Other members went on the trip, leaving me behind. I don't care about being left behind. I don't care about being left. I'm used to being left behind. I have got used to being left behind. I've got used to be left behind. I'm used to being left behind. I'm used to be left behind. I'm used to be left behind. I'm used to being left behind. I've got 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 used to being left behind. I have got used to being left behind. I'm used to being left behind. I am used to being left behind. I've got used to being left behind. I've got used to being left behind. The hard training of the club activity, which I experienced when I was a junior high school, was the most harsh one I've ever experienced ever. The hard training of the club activity when I was a junior high school student was the harshest. Harshest. The hard training of the club activity, which I experienced when I was a junior high school, was the harshest. I've ever experienced, ever. It took me about 1.5 years to adapt to the new environment in the city. It takes usually more than usual for me to adapt to the new environment. Usually it usually takes longer than average for me to adapt to new environment, for me to adjust to new environment. It took me about 1 year to adjust myself to taking trains. It took me about 1 year to adjust to the new environment, surroundings. It took me about 1 year to adjust to taking trains in the new environment. It took me about 1 year to for me to adjust to taking trains in the new area. I really envy those who can adapt to new environment soon. I really envy those who can adjust to the new environment very soon, in no time. I really envy those who can adjust to the new surroundings in no time. I really envy those who can adapt to the new surroundings so soon. Monsoon. I really envy those who can adapt to new environments so soon. I really envy those who can adapt to the new surroundings in no time. Are there devices out there to adjust to the super hot temperature near the sun? Are there devices ever produced to adjust to the hot temperature near the sun? The clan pride for their pride for their prosperity by devoting the scripture to the shrine. The clan pride for the prosperity of the clan by devocating the scripture with a decorative design to the shrine. Mount Fuji is the highest mountain in Japan. In other words, no mountains in Japan is as high as Mount Fuji. Nothing is as large as Lake Biwa. In other words, Lake Biwa is the largest lake in Japan. The person says tasty to every food. In other words, he loves every food. Our class didn't finish without our teacher telling jokes. In other words, our teacher told jokes every day. Our class didn't finish without our teacher telling jokes. In other words, the teacher told jokes every day. The class didn't finish without the teacher giving us much homework. In other words, the teacher gave homework every day. A day didn't finish without me eating. In other words, I ate every day. Of course, maybe. Not a day passed without our teacher telling jokes. In other words, our teacher told jokes every day. Not a food was left by the person. In other words, he ate everything served for the menu. When my work was coming to an end, I couldn't resist being happy. This year, 2023, is also coming to an end. I felt it so fast. Did you feel it so fast too? 2023 is coming to an end. I felt 2023 the shortest ever. I felt 2023 shortest ever. 2023 is coming to an end. A few days left, a few days to go. Edo period came to an end in the mid-19th century. Edo period came to an end in the mid-19th century. I was asked how soon I can bring the task to an end. I was asked how soon I could bring the task to an end. I was ordered to bring the tasks to an end by the end of the year. I was asked to bring the tasks to an end by the end of the year. Edo period came to an end in the 19th century. Edo period came to an end in the 19th century. Edo period came to an end in the 19th century. I hope my efforts will bear fruit one of these days. One of these days. I hope my efforts will bear fruit, pay off. One of these days. I hope my efforts will bear fruit one of these days. I hope my efforts will be admitted, acknowledged, assessed, evaluated well one of these days. I hope my videos will be evaluated well one of these days. I hope I will get a lot of subscribers one of these days. I hope I will get as many subscribers as famous YouTubers one of these days. I hope to get as many subscribers as influencers one of these days. One of these days. One of these days. I wish to have as many subscribers as influencers one of these days. One of these days. One of these days. One of these days. Someday. One of these days. Someday. Sometime. One day. Someday. One day. Sometime. Sometime. One day. One of these days. Sometime. Someday. Someday. One of these days. 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 Someday. One of these days. 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 Someday. One of these days. One of these days. One of these days. One of these days. Okay, I will finish speaking here. Thank you for watching. See you next time. See you.